showtime at 10.
Hey man, you know where I can find Dr. Conrad Hawkins?
Namaste. You found him. Take off that tie. You're not at Harvard anymore. Let's go. I was a first-year intern just like you. Top of your class, followed all the rules, and you think that puts you at an advantage? It doesn't. It just means you have more to unlearn than the guys who weren't paying attention.
I need a new resident. Mine's a psychopath.
You got Conrad.
The Resident, Thursday, 10 p.m. on 5. You can also watch other episodes of The Resident on Toggle.
Welcome back. It will soon be easier for construction companies to apply for grants in adopting quieter equipment. Companies will also get more grant money per project. The new $2 million fund replaces an existing fund which expires at the end of this month. And the move comes after the government received industry feedback about the barriers in using such technology.
This is what it sounds like during a typical piling process when using conventional construction machinery. The noise from such equipment can be a constant annoyance for residents living and working nearby. But ever since China Construction Development started using quieter equipment 5 years ago, the level of noise pollution at its construction sites has dropped by as much as 20 decibels, and the result is resounding. By tapping into the Quieter Construction Fund, the company was able to offset some of the cost of acquiring such machinery.
We produce less noise, so it will create less disturbance to the surrounding buildings, like for the residents and for the schools or this building user. We feel that it is our responsibility. After the implementation of all this equipment, there is a drastic reduce in feedback from the residents, are likely to be around improvement of 50 to 70% of the feedback from the resident.
At least 87 companies have utilized the current fund at more than 100 construction sites. A total of $4.8 million was disbursed at the end of 2018.
Many construction companies have tapped and benefited from the QCF. This is not just in terms of lower cost of equipment, but also lower number of noise violations and cost avoidance from fines which are averted. Less complaints also means less resources tied up to manage noise feedback and higher productivity by virtue that the construction work can now be carried out for longer periods and in the evening because they are less noisy.
The new 2-year fund kicks in this April. Successful applicants will now receive a maximum grant of $300,000, up from the $200,000 previously. Some of the grant's criteria have also been lowered, allowing more contractors to qualify for funding support. The changes reflect industry feedback the National Environment Agency received. Construction companies say there are challenges in buying quieter equipment.
Every machine can cost up to between $1 to $5 million for big machines. For contractors to use quieter machines, they also have to think of what happened to their existing machines, because these are existing machines who are actually quite noisy, but they have invested for quite a period of time, so the lifespan of these machines is still there.
But the association says the new fund may not offer enough to encourage more players to sign up. It says companies are concerned about costs and the time it takes to acquire new machinery. Depending on the take-up rate and industry feedback, the NEA says it will review the need to further extend the fund.
After-school programs in secondary schools have helped disadvantaged students regain their confidence and stop them from skipping classes. With 60 more schools set to roll these out by next year, we check in on some of them to find out how they support troubled teens.
Safarizan Abdullah used to be late for school, but he was also one of the last to leave.
I don't like to go home because there's always arguments at home. I started living with my grandmother when I was young. Then I live with my aunt for a while. Here next, myself, I just stay outside. So I normally wake up for school late.
That was 3 years ago. Saf changed after his teachers roped him into Youth Corp, an after-school activity where he plans school camps and goes on patrols with the police. It's one of 4 programs Kent Ridge Secondary has for students who need that extra nudge. On days when Saf is free, he goes to Lighthouse, his school's engagement centre. All students are welcome, but it was really built to get students with family issues, who make up about 15% of total enrolment, to come to school.
They wanted to have aircon, they wanted to have Wi-Fi, they wanted to have Xbox games and all that. Because these are probably some of the luxuries that they did not have at home. Students who may not have been so regular in school, alright, in terms of attendance, they have started to come to school more regularly as well because they look forward to going to Lighthouse on every Wednesday and Fridays.
It's in this room where students can speak freely with teachers and social workers.
They always took time to talk to me. That's where I know that I have a strong sense of belonging in school that make me more motivated to come to school.
This story is all too familiar at Yuan Ching Secondary, where 18-year-old Zach Po once skipped CCA training and tried to stay as small as possible.
No matter how much I tried, I couldn't get the grades I want. During the training, I was slower than others and I couldn't keep up with the pace. So I felt that I couldn't do what others could.
But his form teacher saw something beneath his reserved exterior and got him to help set up Yuan Ching's after-school engagement centre. It targets students who avoid going for their CCA, like Zach used to.
This centre down here is not just about fun, but rather giving the students a conducive environment for them to study. It is hoped that they can develop an identity among themselves. They tend to do better in class because the rapport that they have with the teachers are there.
Zach topped his school in the N levels in 2017, and now he comes back to be a big brother to his juniors.
I was bullied. When I came into ASE, everything all of a sudden changed. I had more friends to meet, and then all my angers would just blew off.
The programs will be enhanced to help students like Dani, who need that extra guidance to find their spark.
Always great to hear such stories. That's it for News 5. Join us again tomorrow. Good night.
Download the Toggle app now and catch up for free.
Tonight on 5.